Hello, Cancer and Cancer Rising. This is your astrological forecast for March 2025. And this is a very important month for you, especially for those who wanted to get a new job, to get promotion. And so it's like you have a lot of chances to move up professionally. But let's discuss it in detail. So, what will happen? Let's see what the universe has in store for you. So on March 2nd, there will be some important astrological aspects, but they will be a bit complex. On one hand, you will feel that you feel like taking some steps in the direction you have chosen. But on the other hand, you will realize that a lot of people who are important for you, they will be either against your decisions or they will be blocking your initiative. So try not to take it too close to your heart. On the same day, March 2nd, the planet Venus turns retrograde in your 10th house. And this moment will last until April 13th. And it's time for you to look into the burden you carry on your shoulders. It concerns your duties, responsibilities, especially at work. How heavy this burden is for you, or perhaps you should shift this burden to somebody else's shoulders. Maybe you have had enough. And it's also concerned your relationship with people who are older than you in terms of age, position, or social status. And it's time for you to ask questions of how comfortable you are in those relationship. You will start reassessing them. At the same time, you will start questioning yourself about your current career path, and you will start thinking if it really aligns with your true values and passions. And a lot of old career opportunities or projects may resurface, or people from your past can also resurface at work, and maybe there will be some new deals with them, or maybe it's will be time for you to complete some unfinished business. Maybe it's time. Like the conditions are good for those businesses to be finished, and also it's quite possible that your interaction with bosses or any other authority figures, it can come under scrutiny, so you will have to work on trying to improve these relationships. And it's important for you to be cautious of how you're going to be perceived at this time, and try to refine, analyze well, and improve your public image. And as Venus also rules finance, maybe it's time for you to revisit all financial agreements and discuss your contract with your bosses. But uh, so be cautious with too many financial commitments, and not try not to push too hard. So because maybe you, if it doesn't work this way, you can do it when Venus goes direct. So but you can start like your negotiation, discussing your, if you're paid well for what you're doing. On March 3rd, Mercury enters Aries in your 10th house of the horoscope, and from March 3rd to 14th, Mercury will be in direct motion, and then it will turn retrograde. This period from March 3rd to 14th is a time when you can meet with people who are authoritative for you, or supervisors, or maybe you'll visit government institution to solve important issues. It's time for you to discuss your duties and responsibilities. It's time for you to become a leader for other people. It's time for you to speak louder, because people will hear you, and especially if it's in your business, it's time for you to voice your opinion. And this energy of Aries mm, will give you the courage to express your opinions more openly and directly, but don't be rude. So watch your tongue a little. On March 5th, Mercury will be in a favorable aspect to Pluto, and on March 25th there will be the same aspect. And these are two favorable days, mark these days. These days will be good for solving financial issues, making purchases, discussing financial plans, and resolving issues related to the common budget, property, and some payments. On March 8th, the Sun will be in a lucky aspect to Mars, affecting your first and ninth houses of the horoscope. And it's a fortunate day when everything develops quickly, brightly, dynamically, and successfully. And there might be pleasant news from afar, a pleasant meeting, or maybe a trip. It's a day when you can and should insist on your projects, on your ideas, or maybe you will initiate something. On March 12th, the Sun will conjunct Saturn in your ninth house of the horoscope. And it's a very important moment. It's a moment of setting tasks, determining your zone of responsibility before yourself for at least a year. The Sun represents our I, so us, what we want. And Saturn represents the energy that limits us and at the same time forces us to act step by step. And it's a time when we set a task for ourselves, understanding in advance that the result will not be easy and we are ready to follow along and challenging paths of effort and patience, expressing our will to achieve an important result for us. March 12th is a day of setting a long term task, and considering that this conjunction occurs in your ninth house, it might be related to professional development, learning a foreign language, obtaining diploma, or some other important document. And it also can be connected to moving, the document can be connected to moving to another country. So, and step by step setting is actually associated with establishing also new boundaries between you and your friends and relatives and partners in your professional life. And also, it's time when you can finally handle some bureaucratic and legal issues. On March 14th, we will have the first eclipse of 2025, and it will occur in Virgo, and it will be in the third house of the horoscope. And this is the first eclipse in this new sector, and it sets a new task for each of us. Considering that this eclipse occurs in your third house of the horoscope and is lunar, meaning it concludes and closes a certain program. This is a time when, metaphorically speaking, a certain road that is no longer relevant for you is closed. For example, you have been commuting for a long time to school, but now it's over, so your studies are over and there is no need to travel there anymore. Or maybe you had some task that is of no longer of any importance. And it's time when the rules by which you live change, your habits, maybe some lifestyle change, and also communication. Maybe the people you communicate, maybe you will decide to sell your car. It's also possible. Or maybe you will just change your circle of people you talk to. On March 15th, the planet Mercury turns retrograde, and a moment that will last until April 7th. The retrograde Mercury occurs in your 10th house, and this is a time when maybe you will have repeatedly contact the government agencies. Maybe you will have to handle the reissuing of some documents or residence permit or documents related to education. It's also a good time for you to retake any exams or submit reports. During this period, you may return to duties you performed once before, and clients you used to work with may come back. This is a time when you might be excessively cautious, meaning the plans you develop for yourself in the first half of March may now seem too abrupt, too quick, and too presumptuous. And at the same time, during this period, you may receive something that you have been waiting for a long time. Maybe it's a document, information, or a promotion in your professional ladder. The period from March 17th to 24th is energetically very strong. These days, the conjunction of the Sun with the North Karmic lunar node with the planet Neptune, Venus, and Mercury occurs, showing that we will feel an impulse and desire to act. This is a time of inspiration, a period when we want recognition or worthy results from our efforts. On March 20th, the Sun moves into Aries. And this is the day of the vernal equinox, a very important energetic point of the year. It's a time of beginnings, and in the northern hemisphere, it is the day when spring begins from an astronomical perspective. On March 23rd, the Sun will conjunct retrograde Venus in your 10th house of the horoscope. Again, so it's an important day marking the beginning of a long multi-year Arian Venetian cycle. And usually on the eve of such a cycle start, we feel a strong desire, a need to achieve something, to improve one area of life, or maybe you will set a goal, set a task, professional task especially. And since it occurs in the 10th house, this is a house of your status of achievements of your career. So there is huge need for you to have achievements, and gives you courage to act, and probably you will have this desire to get a higher position, or you will decide to run your own business, or maybe you will get some document that will give you rights and that will make you more confident, give at least gives you more freedom. Or maybe you'll decide that it's time for you to have your own home, or maybe you'll decide to increase your financial level. So, but this Venus cycle is long, and the full results of the decisions you make now will be felt in 4 years. On the 29th of March, a solar eclipse will occur along your 4-10 axis, which is associated with career, reputation, and public image, and the fourth house, which is linked to home, family, and foundations. In astrological terms, this should indicate changes and events related to your career and public life that also impact your personal life and home environment. And I'm sure in the last year and a half, you have had a lot of changes already at work, or maybe in your living situation. So, and this is a final eclipse, and it's going to bring the ending of to all these changes that you have experienced lately in the year and a half. And it's time for you to get the professional achievement that you strive to get, public recognition. And you have been, if you have tried to change your house, to move or to buy or sell, this is a time for you to finalize all your decisions concerning your career and your living situation. So good luck, guys. So you still have 6 months to so to be successful in these spheres. On March 30th, a historic astrological event occurs. The planet Neptune, the symbol of our soul, changes its sign, and for the first time in 165 years, guys, it enters Aries. And it's, on the one hand, it gives us new ideology, on the other hand, new illusions. Neptune enters your 10th astrological house that can lead to frequent jobs, or career changes, or maybe you will decide to pick out Neptunian so-called type of profession. This could be a job associated with travel, relocation, working abroad, music, maybe sea, or maybe you will work with a flexible schedule. It can be work in the field of psychology, transportation, work with foreigners, but it very often gives us some what blurred status. For example, it's like being in a so-called common law marriage when you live together with your boyfriend or girlfriend, but there are no legal documents to support that you're actually married. So it's like common law marriage, but aren't there any documents? No. And when we work, you find it a bit difficult how to explain under what contract or principle we're working, or maybe we move to another country on the one hand, but we move from country to country, or so it's like, or maybe it's like the situation is not clear where you are, who you work for. So, but for everyone, it will work in a different way. So, guys, as you see, it's a very good month for you if you want to move, especially professionally, if you want to get the position you want. So, be brave, start taking action, and I'm sure you will be successful. Thank you for your attention. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel.